Welcome back, everybody, to the That's Debatable podcast. Hope you all are having a wonderful day. And if you're not, you already know the drill. You have come to the right place, and you've also come to the right place if you love basketball. Because today, you know what we're doing today? We got all basketball today. So if you're a basketball lover, if you love hearing me talk about basketball, you're in luck. I would suggest staying through the whole show because we got all basketball. We got some trade deadline stuff to talk about and some stuff going on in Madison Square Garden. So we're going to be talking about that and talking all basketball today. So there is no football, no UFC, no boxing, nothing, just strictly basketball today. So let's get straight into it. Let's not waste any time. But before we do, go subscribe to my YouTube channel. For my Instagram guides, it's my link in bio. For my Facebook guides, it's on my feed. Turn post notifications on all three platforms so you know when I post and you know when I go live on Instagram and Facebook, even though they notify you anyway. But it's still good to have post notifications on. Let's get straight into the first question. Your thoughts on Norman Powell to the Trailblazers for Gary Trent and Rodney Hood. Now, I like this trade. Now, Norman Powell is a talent. Norman Powell can play. He's not a scrub at all whatsoever. But I do like this trade for the Raptors. Gary Trent is a guy who can give you more than what Norman Powell did on the perimeter. Same thing with Rodney Hood. Rodney Hood could play, right? Especially when he's surrounded with good talents. Gary Trent and Rodney Hood, they're surrounded with Kyle Lowry, Pascal Siakam, Fred VanVleet, who's also another shooter. Lowry could shoot the three ball as well. So this right now is a pretty good perimeter shooting team. I expect later down the road, once they're all settled in, for their perimeter shooting percentage to go up. So I expect that for the Raptors. I think this is a good move. I think this is a step in the right direction for the Toronto Raptors because we've seen what Gary Trent Jr. has done for the Portland Trailblazers. We saw a couple months ago when he was dropping three-pointers after three-pointer, especially on the Lakers that one night when they beat the Los Angeles Lakers. We saw Gary Trent dropping bombs. Same thing with Rodney Hood. When Rodney Hood gets hot, he goes off. So I think this is two good pickups for the Toronto Raptors. I'm not mad at this at all. I think it's a step in the right direction. But I know you have Aaron Baines there and all that stuff. But I think you'll need another center, to replace Aaron Baines because I don't know if Aaron Baines is really gonna do it for you. But you do have a big man there, which is good. But I think another talented big man. I'm not throwing any shade on Aaron Baines, but I think another big man could really do the job for the Toronto Raptors. But the perimeter shooting of the Toronto Raptors is looking good right now. So this is a step in the right direction for the Toronto Raptors, and I like this trade. I think Norman Powell will do well on the Trailblazers. I think alongside Damian Lillard and CJ McCollum and those boys, Nurkic, especially when he's healthy, which he's been struggling to do for the past couple of years. I think Norman Powell's going to go right along with, I think he's probably going to be coming off the bench, but I think off the bench he's going to be powerful like how he was for the Raptors. So wish Norman Powell the best in Portland and wish the best for Gary Trent and Rodney Hood in Toronto. Welcome to Canada. So hopefully they like the cold. No one likes the cold. But next question. Would adding Kyle Lowry to the Lakers make them title contenders? No, not at all. And I say no because the Lakers being title contenders specifically relies on Anthony Davis and LeBron James' health. That's what this relies on. And that's no shade at Kyle Lowry. We know Kyle Lowry can play. This guy's, a pest on the defensive end. We know what he can do on the offensive end when he gets hot, like how I just mentioned. The guy can play. He's an absolute stud. We know what he did. He's a fantastic leader. And Kyle Lowry can play basketball. So you look at Kyle Lowry, and he's a fantastic player. But the Los Angeles Lakers, it has nothing to do with Kyle Lowry. The only way that the Los Angeles Lakers are going to win the NBA title and to be the favorites for the NBA title and beat the Brooklyn Nets is with Anthony Davis and LeBron James. Because, I have no doubt in my mind that LeBron James could potentially bring the Lakers to the finals without Anthony Davis. But because LeBron James is that type of guy, he carried the 2018 Cavs on his back. But, this is the Western Conference, not the Eastern Conference. I think, he could do that, but I don't see them beating the Brooklyn Nets with just LeBron James. And, that also relies on Kevin Durant's health. I mentioned this a couple of weeks ago and recently as well. Anthony Davis and Kevin Durant have been out for way too long. They've been out for 20 plus games now, and we should be getting concerned right now for Anthony Davis and Kevin Durant, because with no Kevin Durant, I'm sorry, James Harden and Kyrie Irving are not going to get the job done against a healthy Anthony Davis and LeBron James. It's just not going to happen. So they're going to need Kevin Durant for that, and I will get into that later. But I think, this has nothing to do with Kyle Lowry. If you add Kyle Lowry to the roster, which, they announced that he'll be staying in Toronto. But if you were to add Kyle Lowry to this roster, then I don't think it would make a difference. It would specifically rely on Anthony Davis and LeBron James. The Orlando Magic trade Vucevic to the Chicago Bulls. What do you think of this? I like this trade. I think this is a step in the right direction also for the Chicago Bulls, because you managed to keep Zach LaVine. Lauri Markkanen is not going anywhere. Kobe White is pretty decent as well. He could hoop as well. He could ball. But Vucevic can ball as well. Vucevic is a very good player. This is the guy that can stretch the floor at times. He just won the skills competition. This guy's an all-star, right? He's no scrub. The guy can play. This is a very good, addition to the team. Very good, talented big man, and he's going alongside Zach LaVine, who's shooting better than 52% from the field. He's shooting better than 42% from the three-point range. So this guy is an amazing athlete. This guy is a star. Zach LaVine is one of my favorite players in this league. He's an absolute stud. He's a star, and he, soon to be superstar. So I really like Zach LaVine. I like how he plays. He's got hops. He can shoot the ball. He can do it all. He can defend. You name it. So Zach LaVine, very talented player, and alongside Vucevic is going to be very, very good to see. The Chicago Bulls are doing better than they have been in a few years. And, adding Vucevic is going to just add to that. It's just going to help them. So I really think that Vucevic added to this team is very good. And Lauri Markkanen is a good player. Now, let me say something about Otto Porter Jr. Now, I don't mean to sound disrespectful, but the only memory I have of Otto Porter Jr. is him on Shaqtin' a Fool. That's the only memory I have of Otto Porter Jr., of when he completely forgot about the guy that he was defending, and he ran all the way to the other side of the court. If you haven't seen it, go on YouTube, after the show, because you don't want to leave the show. But go on YouTube and search up Otto Porter Jr., Shaqtin' a Fool. He was guarding his man. He took his eye off of him, and he ran, and his man went all the way to the other side of the court. And Otto Porter Jr. didn't realize till he was all the way on the other side. It was hilarious. Even Ernie Johnson was laughing. Kenny was laughing, all that stuff. He wanted to see the replay again. But that's unfortunate. That's the only memory I have of Otto Porter Jr. When he was in Washington, he wasn't the greatest either. That's why he ended up in Chicago. Otto Porter needs to step it up. But other than that, I think that Zach LaVine and, Lauri Markkanen, Nikola Vucevic are all going to play pretty well. These guys can play, and along with Kobe White as well, who can heat up fast. So, yeah, I do like where the Chicago Bulls are going. They're really starting to rebuild, because this is a team that, was really downhill, was at their lowest, and now they're starting to really build back up. So I like the steps that they're taking here. Would you give up Tyler Herro and Duncan Robinson for Kyle Lowry? Hell no. No, I would not. Because Tyler Herro and Duncan Robinson are still young. Duncan Robinson's an absolute sniper. Tyler Herro can be a sniper as well. He can get into the paint. Obviously, the defensive side of the ball, them defending, is a bit of a question mark sometimes. But in terms of the offensive side of the ball, they're spectacular. They have bright futures. And Kyle Lowry, like I mentioned, is getting older. He has less years left in the NBA than Tyler Herro and Duncan Robinson does, so why would you give them up, right? And they have just acquired Oladipo, so there was no reason to let go of them, because this Miami Heat team, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to get into more of this tomorrow probably, but this Miami Heat team now, with Oladipo added, with Oladipo happy where he is, because who isn't happy in South Beach? The palm trees, the nice weather, all this stuff. Florida, he's in Miami, Florida, no state income tax, all of that great stuff. So Oladipo's happy, and when Oladipo's happy and he's healthy, he balls out alongside Jimmy Butler, Tyler Hero, Duncan Robinson, Bam Adebayo. My goodness, this team is gonna be very talented, and they're gonna now be a problem in the East. Obviously, I still don't see them beating Brooklyn at full health. I don't see anybody beating Brooklyn at full health, but I think that this Tyler Hero and Duncan Robinson, for Kyle Lowry, it just wouldn't work out. It wouldn't work out. I don't see why they would do that. Obviously, the trade deadline is over now, but it would have just made no sense if they were to do that because, like I said, Tyler Hero and Duncan Robinson are young. They have a bright future ahead of them, and Kyle Lowry, might as well retire with the Raptors. He might as well finish his years with the Raptors. Everything that he's given to this franchise, got drafted to the Houston Rockets, and got traded to the Toronto Raptors, and has spent his entire career since then on the Raptors. So, he's given a lot to this city. He's been through the blizzards and all that stuff. And, I was just watching a video the other day of Kyle Lowry talking about how he loves Toronto, how he's fell in love with Toronto. Drake FaceTimed him the other day during a press conference. I'm pretty sure Drake FaceTimed him to be like, man, you can't leave Toronto, right? So I'm pretty sure that's what he called him for. Kyle Lowry loves Toronto. Toronto loves Kyle Lowry. Kyle Lowry's a spectacular player on the court. He's a fantastic leader. He could be a player coach. He could be an actual coach after he retires. That is how talented, and that's the basketball IQ that Kyle Lowry contains. So I like Kyle Lowry. He's a stud. He could play, and I suggest keep him on the Toronto Raptors until he retires. Retire his jersey with the Toronto Raptors because that's what he deserves after everything is given to the city. I don't even know why you would think of trading him. Then again, they traded DeMar DeRozan, for crying out loud. So, and we thought he was going to be a franchise player. So we don't know what to expect there, but. As of right now, keep Kyle Lowry unless you get a magnificent deal, right? And, Kyle Lowry to the Philadelphia 76ers didn't make sense to me either because if you have Kyle Lowry bringing up the ball, then you take the ball out of Ben Simmons' hands who, is scared to, take a three-point shot. So that wouldn't have made sense either. That's what I've been saying. Yeah, that's how I feel about that. So, no, the Heat shouldn't have, and they didn't, thank goodness. But if they were thinking about it, Tyler Hero and Duncan Robinson shouldn't have been traded for Lowry. Can the Nets win a title with Harden as their best player? No, they can't. I say no because I just mentioned this. If Harden and Kyrie are there and KD's not there, because like I mentioned, AD and KD have been out for way too long. They've been out for 20-plus games. But let's say I'm presuming, I'm thinking positive that Anthony Davis and LeBron James are going to come back at full health. All right, that's what I'm thinking positive in that way. But let's say KD doesn't come back and it's just Harden and Kyrie against a healthy AD and LeBron James. They're not going to get the job done against the Lakers. It's just not going to happen. Anthony Davis and LeBron James are two top 5 players. If you're going to beat the Lakers, you're going to need Kevin Durant. I'm sorry to say it. Charles Barkley saying James Harden's the best player in the world. We know, he's a spectacular offensive show. We know what he can do on the offensive side of the ball. We know he's selfless and stuff like that now, especially that he's in Brooklyn. He's passing the ball to guys like Bruce Brown, Joe Harris, DeAndre Jordan, Kyrie Irving, all of these guys. So, Jeff Green also. So, you think of all that, but I don't think he's the best player in the world. I think that's Kevin Durant because without Kevin Durant, there is no NBA title for the Brooklyn Nets. I'm sorry to say it because Kyrie Irving and James Harden are just not going to get it done by themselves. I think they can still make it out of the East, but they won't beat the Lakers by themselves. They're going to need Kevin Durant for that. And I know there's going to be the people that are saying, oh, basketball is a team sport, but Kevin Durant is the best player in the world when he's at full health. We all know that. The brother was averaging 30 coming off an Achilles tear and an 18-month layoff. Don't give me all of that, right? And we saw how good the Brooklyn Nets were doing, even with KD, let alone without KD. But, I don't think Harden and Kyrie would be enough to knock off the Lakers, let alone Harden himself. So, no, I don't think that they can win with Harden as their best player. They're gonna have to have KD. So a Knicks fan gets kicked out of Madison Square Garden for a Ban Dolan shirt. So Ban, the owner Dolan for the owner of the New York Knicks, he had a Ban Dolan shirt, and he got kicked out of Madison Square Garden. And Madison Square Garden headquarters, all that stuff. They were like, we won't tolerate any disrespect, all of that stuff. And they're starting to let fans back in. Now, my thoughts on this here. Now, I'm not going to speak too much on this because I am honestly afraid of what I'll say. I'm honestly afraid of what I would say if I spoke on this too long. But James Dolan, man, I mentioned this 2 weeks ago on this show. I mentioned that when the Knicks are doing something good in the basketball world, somebody there, if it's Spike Lee, someone in Madison Square Garden, Patrick Ewing, somebody, James Dolan, whoever it is, they find a way to end up taking away the attention from the New York Knicks when they're doing good. Because when the New York Knicks are doing good, but the headquarters, the headlines, all this stuff, the newspaper says, the media capital of the world are saying, James Dolan, right? So that's what sucks. James Dolan is a baby. He's a little child who's supposed to be an owner of an NBA team, of the New York Knicks, who I said to play in the media capital of the world. You're not supposed to be acting like this. There's going to be people that are going to say stuff about you. You don't see every single, arena kicking people out, especially now letting fans back into the arena. And there was no slurs, there were no cuss words on the shirt, anything. All it said was Ban Dolan. I don't understand. It's ridiculous. And every single time, and I'm not even a Knicks fan, I'm starting to feel bad for Knicks fans, because this is ridiculous. Every time they start to do good, the attention gets taken away from them in the basketball perspective. Whether it's James Dolan, Spike Lee, Patrick Ewing, it doesn't matter who. Somebody on a particular day takes away the attention from the basketball that the New York Knicks are playing. If the playoffs started today, the New York Knicks would be in the playoffs. But we're talking about James Dolan right now. That is who we're talking about. This is nothing new. It's nothing new at all. So, it's absolutely ridiculous. And, I honestly feel bad for the New York Knicks players, the New York Knicks fans, the organization. But this front office, whether Patrick Ewing, Spike Lee, all of these guys tend to take away the attention from the New York Knicks when they are doing good. And that is rare. The New York Knicks don't always do good. But when they do, something has to happen behind the curtains. Something has to happen in front of the cameras. Especially with James Dolan, acting like a child sometimes. And when he's supposed to be running an NBA team, one of the biggest NBA franchises in NBA history, the New York Knicks. And so this is why, I'm kind of against James Dolan. I'm not going to go against this fan saying Ban Dolan, because if they end up firing Dolan as the owner, if Dolan is, not the owner anymore, I honestly probably wouldn't even be mad. I honestly probably wouldn't be mad because of how he acts and stunts like this. Getting people kicked out of the arena because of a Ban Dolan shirt. Nothing, no cuss words, anything. If it had cuss words on it, okay, I would understand. That's inappropriate. It had nothing like that on it. The guy posted on Twitter and Instagram and stuff with the shirt and everything, and you get kicked out. So, it's absolutely ridiculous. I'm absolutely disgusted of how the New York Knicks franchise are acting and all that stuff. It's ridiculous, honestly ridiculous, and I can't stand how they take the attention away from the New York Knicks when they start to do something good. So, yeah, but that's gonna wrap it up for today. Not a lot of questions. But we had all basketball today, so for my basketball guys, that is a good thing, right? So that is good that we had all basketball today. Might have some football, might mix it up again tomorrow. But it was a special day. It was the trade deadline. Tomorrow is Fan Friday though, so I will be here and answering you guys' this question. I'll put a poll up on my story so you guys can ask questions, ask some sports questions, TV questions. I'm gonna try and watch Riverdale tonight so I can cover it for you guys tomorrow, review it for you guys tomorrow. I'll try and watch All American as well, which I still have to review and all that good stuff. But with that being said, I'll see you guys here tomorrow, 4 p.m. Eastern. Make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel for my Instagram guides and my link in my for my Facebook guides. It's on my feed. Turn post notifications on all 3 platforms so you know what I'm doing and you stay up to date with all the videos, all the live streams, all that good stuff. This live might be going up on YouTube. So yeah, see you guys here tomorrow, 4 p.m. Eastern. Stay safe, stay cool, and I'm out, y'all. Take it easy.